The number one use of AI has been development. So the entry level to mid developers have been losing their jobs because AI can do a lot of that stuff for them. If you're just building a MVP for your application that can actually show you the results that you want, you can use that in your business on
Right.
a daily basis. You don't need to go hire a developer to create that anymore.
Hi, have you ever wondered how AI can help you analyze a property or even help you find a property that you're looking for your next investment or even help you minimize and navigate properties that you have in your portfolio? Well, I have Tim Park from ARIA Labs that's going to help us go through all the new mechanics of AI and how it can help you in your everyday investing. Tim, how you doing?
Good to be here. Thank you
Nice.
for the invite, and I appreciate being on the podcast. So,
Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate it. AI.
yeah,
Hottest topic right now.
it is.
Everyone's trying to figure out what to do, how to use it. And we're going to talk about how to use it as an investment tool, right?
Sure.
For as an investor or someone, seasoned investor, someone looking to get an investment, you know, tell us. So I have clients, hey, Jack, I'm looking at 4 properties.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be my first property. I've had single family homes. I want to get into multifamily. I want to get into commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me analyze the property? So obviously I underwrite it and do it all that.
Sure.
But a lot of clients right now, being a kind of it's a buyer's market, right? There's so many properties out there and so many good deals.
Mm-hmm.
They get confused.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of telling clients, hey, here's a prompt I've been using with ChatGPT, and you can throw in a couple of the properties, the numbers you have from an OM or performer that you get
Mm-hmm.
from the broker or wherever it may
Sure.
be, and throw your profit loss in there and let it run it. Ask it a
Mm-hmm.
question. Here's my goals. How have you seen, how have you used it, and is there a better way than I'm using it right now, or kind of telling my clients?
No, I think that's great. I know that you're probably using ChatGPT, which is fine. I think one thing you can do is create your own GPT within ChatGPT. So you send them an actual thing that GPT that they can have on their ChatGPT. So
Oh
it's
wow.
like a
Okay.
your own little deal analyzer for them. So you send them the link, or they search for your GPT on ChatGPT, and then it will save it to on the left side for them, right?
Okay.
So you can, depending on what it is, if it's a multifamily or if it's an industrial, whatever the case may be, for that, you can set the criteria of what that chat or GPT does, and how it analyzes it per your maybe uh, formula, right?
Or investment criteria.
Exactly.
So what you're telling me is I, as a broker, can create a GPT in within ChatGPT.
Correct.
So if specializing just in, let's say, breaking down multifamily
Sure.
properties,
Right.
or an investor themselves can, or a regular person can just create their own GPT as well, right?
Correct.
And give it the parameters and investment strategy that they're looking for, right?
Absolutely. So I worked with another company, and they created their own ChatGPT on OMs, right? So
Okay.
what they would do is get all the information. The person would give all the information for the OM, and then it will give you a prompt on how to create the OM from there with all the criteria that they provided, right? And that's their own ChatGPT uh, application within ChatGPT. So,
Okay.
yeah,
So prompts. I think a lot of people, even including myself, get
sure.
confused on how to prompt the AI, the
Hmm.
bot, right?
Yeah.
To give you what you're looking for, the answers you're looking for. Um, can you kind of walk us through that? Well, like if I'm in, let's say I'm looking at 3 properties here in Long
Mhm.
Beach, right?
Yeah.
A 4 unit, a 10 unit, and a 6 unit.
Mhm.
And I do have the performa or the OMs from the listing broker, and I downloaded it, and I could upload those
Sure.
to the GPT.
Mhm.
And where do I go from there?
Yeah, so basically, prompting is gonna be key, right? Just for this kind of podcast, I actually uploaded a commercial, prompting, like, there's 20 different prompts on our prompting directory, just for your viewers and stuff, so I can give you that link, and
Okay.
then, but you can upload let's say you have the OM, you upload it, and then what you wanna do is, um, ask the ChatGPT to act like a real estate investor that's analyzing this portfolio or this property, and you know, make sure that, and give it some criteria, right? What to look for, what cap rates are. So I'm not sure if this is a seasoned investor, or if this is just someone, a mom and pop that is
Mhm.
trying to get into investment. So some of the things that you could look for is, what's the current cap rate? Is that something that they're below or under, depending on what they want to invest in? Is it a value add situation for that property? So you would just prompt it in a way that act like an seasoned investor that is analyzing this deal for this particular market,
Okay.
right? And then also you can say compare other properties within this market to see if this cap rate is a good cap rate for this area, right?
Oh, okay. So that's more of kind of, let's say someone seasoned,
Sure.
um, because you can get all that
Yeah.
information from
Right.
like myself, a broker, and
Correct.
and find out what the going cap rates are or what the comps are.
Sure.
And once it kind of comes up with, after you feed it all this information and give it a particular prompt of what you're looking for as an
Sure.
investment strategy, how good is it when it comes back?
I think a lot of people will give it a prompt, and then it's maybe not something that they were looking for, or the answer that they wanted. So I think that's where the prompting comes in, where you have to kind of be specific on what you're asking it to do, right?
Okay.
And so if you're looking for a specific kind of analyzing the property, right? Then you have to tell it that that's what you want it to do, right?
Okay.
For instance, yeah, for that, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay. I got that. So, um, what I've learned using ChatGPT to analyze, to actually backtrack my work,
Sure,
because
sure.
I'll analyze it myself and then I'll put it in there just to see where the leaks are, where the red
Mm-hmm.
flags are that maybe may have missed. Um, and afterwards, I love how it asks, "Hey, would you like
Yes.
me to do a 5-year
Yeah.
comparison or a 5-year IRR or exit
Sure.
strategy?" And if you keep following the prompts that the GPT gives you,
Yeah.
and it keeps going, like it gets detailed and detailed.
100%.
I mean, I came up with a lot of, like I'm in a 1031 exchange right now, and
Okay.
I put in so many properties, like I think 6, 7 that I've been looking
Mm-hmm.
at, and it's kind of helped me go from like 6, 7 to like 2.
Right.
Um, and it just, things that you don't see and you're not thinking of, it'll bring it in there. I mean, that's how I went from 6 to 2,
Yeah.
because somebody's like, well, hey, this property is here given this area, and property B is
Right.
closer to the coastal. You probably make it's a better investment.
Sure.
Yes, this one probably you can get in at a cheaper cap rate or a cheaper price per unit, but you'll have more appreciation here.
Of
It
course.
kind of gave me a whole kind of guy. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. So
Mm-hmm.
for the savvy investor or the seasoned investor, yes, this is a great tool. But I think it's a great tool for someone just starting out,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
If you don't even know a lot of this information, if you just kind of, hey, prompted, like I've seen people do, I'm new to real estate investing. I'm looking to buy my first investment property.
Mm-hmm.
Which asset class should I start with?
Right.
And they'll give it like maybe 3 or 4 asset
Right.
class, multifamilies, commercial, I mean, sorry, industrial,
Mm-hmm.
retail, and then
Mm-hmm.
kind of give them the risk tolerance for each
Sure.
one, and then it'll ask them how is their risk tolerance, and I mean it goes really well. So I mean,
Yeah.
uh, from a perspective of even in a starting investor, I would say it would be good to start at least diving into ChatGPT, or
Yeah.
so there's ChatGPT, right? And
Right.
then there's, I guess, like I don't even know. There are probably hundreds. I know like
Yeah.
4 of them, but
Yeah.
so
So
which ones do you use the most?
well, I think, especially for commercial, I think Claude Code is really good for like performas and market analysis, and
Okay.
then also and then also Perplexity for market research as well. So Perplexity was one of the first LLMs that actually searched the web, and they do a really good job of referencing where the sources of information was coming from. So, like when you first put it in ChatGPT, it wouldn't reference anything. It
Mhm.
would just, based on its knowledge base, it would pump it out, whether it's right or wrong.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, but Anthropic, which is Claude, um, they're really good about working with industry experts on how, especially on the financial side,
Okay.
on how to create the right performa, how to create the right financial models for commercial real estate.
Oh, okay.
And so they try to, excuse me, they try to focus on accuracy and less hallucinations. And hallucinations are just maybe errors that happen or they make up something, right?
Mm.
So, and there's certain minor percentage, and ChatGPT and Claude are at the top of less hallucinations compared to the others, right?
Okay.
So, I know a lot of commercial real estate, especially on um, the bigger boys in the field, use kind of Claude Code to help them with their analysis of spreadsheets or creating spreadsheets as well
Uh,
too. So
So the top minds, producers, brokers in our industries are implementing AI. Is that what you're basically saying,
yeah,
right?
yeah, especially on an institutional level, they've been doing it for years. If you think about it, like the Blackstones, BlackRocks, they've all hired like AI or data scientists, right? And so what they did was incorporate data scientists to do all this research, and then it analyzes all that data, and then they see gaps in the market or trends that are going to happen in the future based on what they find out. Like, so they could be pulling data about like rental rates or unemployment, all of these criterias that make a difference in a community or in a market,
Mhm.
that they can see in the future, like, okay, well, there's been X amount of layoffs in this area, but the rent has gone up so much, right? So they could see that maybe it's an opportunity to invest in multifamily or whatever the case may be, right, on
So
that.
AI can do all that for you right
Yeah,
now. So,
yeah.
I mean, if you're a viewer watching this, think about this. Institutions have been using this. Blackstone, big brokers are now using this or have been using this. So, you as even if you're seasoned or even getting into real estate, investing for the first time, it's beneficial to start using AI and giving it the
Yeah,
right
yeah.
parameters
Sure,
to
sure.
at least help you because it's crawling all the web now, right? I mean,
Yeah.
um, when you said so, you said there was a couple of different AI models to
Mhm.
use, right? Like you said, Perplexity, there was Claude, there's
Mhm.
Gronk,
Mhm.
Chat GPT.
Mhm.
I think there's probably more, right?
Yeah.
In your professional experience using all this now, what would you recommend? Like if for an investor right now, okay, I'm getting in, I want to see these
Mhm.
properties. How would you rank which one to use
I would
for analyzing properties?
Sure. I think the two best platforms are going to be ChatGPT and then Claude for analyzing properties, especially if you're newbie,
Mhm.
right? On it, if you're a little bit more sophisticated and you already have financial models already um, uh, in your kind of portfolio or whatever, you can upload those, and then it can learn from those um, spreadsheets that you have,
Mhm.
and then analyze it in a way that, like, hey, they know it's gonna, how much expenses that it needs to decrease to increase your, NOI or whatever the case may be, right?
Oh, okay.
So in within doing that, it's just, I think newbies, it's okay for Claude and ChatGPT. If they're doing market research on their area, I think Perplexity is going to be a winner there in regards to getting maybe public data out there. Like, commercial real estate companies put out newsletters or statistics out there,
Mhm.
so it can scrape all of that information and then put it in a summary for for the new investor to see if it's a good asset to invest in.
Oh
Correct.
wow.
So
Okay. Um, what you look right now? We're talking using AI just to analyze properties,
sure,
right, or underwrite them. Put
sure.
it that way. Um, what since you help a lot of brokers and people in real estate,
Hmm.
investors, you have family offices that
Hmm.
investors that you're using.
Yeah.
What else have you? What else can this do? I mean, I know it can do a lot, but what
Right.
what what other avenues have you used with AI other than analyzing properties when it comes to real estate? Have you, you told me earlier that you can create an OM for a property.
Hmm.
What
Correct.
else have you? Feasibility studies? Can you do?
Correct.
Can you
Yeah.
do all that kind of stuff? Can you touch on
So
that?
yeah, a little bit. It's a wide variety of things, and I can see how it can get overwhelming for like an individual or a brokerage just to which one is the best for them, right?
Right.
And each asset of their company could utilize it. So, like I kind of mentioned at the techie event, is like having systems in place. You mentioned feasibility testing, right? So there's a company out there that uses AI because they do a lot of land acquisition, right?
Mhm.
So they have a lot of feasibilities um, documents that take a lot of time,
Mhm.
right? So, and they spend hours doing these tests, right? And collecting all the documentation to do these feasibility tests. So, they incorporated AI to actually do that for them. So they save a lot of time on doing the test, right? So what happens is they'll get all the information, run it through the AI, and then it will come up with the end result for them.
On
And
a
it's
plot of land or something.
exactly
That's interesting because I did see something on LinkedIn that there was an investor or someone that used AI. They put all the City of LA, talk requirements for
sure,
affordable housing ED1, and all that information was uploaded, and then they started putting in sites,
correct,
and the AI kind of to do this. This takes a couple of weeks, months. It
100%.
takes a long time to do this,
Yeah,
right? And then you need expediters, lawyers,
sure,
go to the city. Like all this stuff has been basically mitigated to a point. I mean, you still got to go through the process, right?
100%.
But so they were putting a couple of plots of land and said, what's the best and highest use for this property
Correct,
right here, this
correct.
land, and it spit out things like,
Yeah.
hey, with this, with the setbacks, you can do 55 units, or you can do 70 units
Hmm.
here. Affordable housing, you can take advantage of this, and a lot.
Yeah.
It just popped out a lot of stuff that usually would take 6 7 months in the beginning of
Right.
an escrow just to
Right.
get all this, and then obviously if you have that kind of stuff, that
Hmm.
information, you may be able to expedite your escrow or
Sure.
your timeline of building. But at least when you go to the city or talk to an architect or anything like that,
Hmm.
hey, here's what I've seen that can happen. Can you check on that? So,
Right.
that was pretty cool that I saw
Yeah.
on there.
Another thing I think, I'm working with another company out of the East Coast, and what they're doing is in the hospitality field, right? I know you're familiar with this, is that they were working with like asset managers and then also GMs of the hotels because adjusting the rates it's a big thing, right?
Mhm.
And then knowing when to adjust those rates and what competitors are doing as well too. So
Right.
so, I can't disclose a lot of it, but it's basically using AI to kind of use what's out there to help them seeing what is affecting the rates,
Oh, okay.
right?
Kind of like dynamic pricing.
Yeah, yeah. So similar to that, but at the same time, it's like, there's a lot more because it everything in commercial real estate is bits and pieces,
Right.
right? You can't go to one kind of place to get all the information. You have to go to several places, right?
Mhm.
So I think what AI does is that within your company, you can create a system or a application, right? That's easy to do now
Mhm.
to focus on all the things that you need at one place, right? So now there's like you can go to lovable .com or bolt.dev, and you can text what you want, like what it to build for you, the application,
Like an app.
like an app,
Oh
right?
wow. Okay.
And then and you want it to pull information or use information that you already have existing in your like Google Drive or whatever, and OMs or whatever, and then it can create a dashboard for you specific to your business,
Oh
right?
wow.
So
Good looking at that one.
yeah, definitely, because I think as because the number one use of AI has been development,
Mhm.
right? So I think you've heard maybe some of the like job losses through AI, and it hasn't been like uh, the regular jobs. It's mostly been like development jobs for developers, right? So the entry level to mid developers have been losing their jobs because AI can do a lot of that stuff for them. So if you're just building a MVP for your application that can actually show you the results that you want, then you can use that in your business
Right.
on a daily basis. You don't need to go hire a developer to create that anymore. So
That's interesting. Yeah, we hear that a lot. AI is here to come take everyone's
yeah,
jobs.
yeah.
But there's still jobs that AI can't do yet. Hopefully.
Yeah. No, no.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent about like learning AI, and I do a lot of education around it. But I think once you kind of learn it and apply it to your business, I think it's just gonna be
Amplify it, right?
amplify it, right? It's gonna free up time for you to maybe have more one-on-one communication with your clients. Free up your time for generating more business, right?
Right.
Instead of the systems and the day-to-day deals that you're doing, because I know some people get hyper focused on the deal when they actually should be prospecting, right? Because it's a
Guilty of
pipeline,
that.
right?
Yeah.
So
So that was a lot. Thanks. No, that was great. That was good
yeah,
stuff. Just entry level kind of AI stuff, which is good. But tell us about you, Tim, in
yeah.
your company. What do you do with your company?
ARIA Labs is we build AI tools and custom tools for real estate professionals. So,
Okay.
when kind of AI kind of released, I was using it for a lot of like off market stuff, and I was seeing it work for lead generation. And then, but I saw in the industry, no one was really using
Mhm.
it, or they were using it correctly. So that's when I started education around that. And then I was seeing holes in the market where I can create these applications that will help, real estate professionals in the industry. So a lot of times, so they don't have to go ahead and do the work. Then they just subscribe to the application, and it'll do that for them. So
Automate some of the
yeah,
processes
exactly.
so they can focus more on
Yeah,
clients.
exactly.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's good. Well, I'll give you the last word, Tim.
Sure.
Thanks for coming out. How if someone wants to reach you or learn more about you,
Yeah, sure.
where can they find you?
They can find me on all the social, timpark.ai. That's my handle on Instagram and then also TikTok. I do a lot of education around there. All the new tools that are releasing, I try to keep my hand on the pulse on that. So,
Nice.
the other thing is that, I try to do more speaking events and then also host workshops as well too. I haven't, I just started getting into workshops, but I'm going to do more, especially online too, because a lot of people on social have been asking all over, wherever they're at in the nation. So
Nice. Well, if you are watching this and found this podcast enlightened or useful, please subscribe and like. And if you would like to you'd like for me to have Tim come back or even do a workshop online or talk about more AI, please send some comments, questions, and I'll have Tim come back and we'll do some more digging into this AI
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I
as it
appreciate
moves
it.
forward.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for viewing, and we'll see you on the next podcast.